Welcome back to Bantwa Tech Podcast. Today we're diving into the mobile shop business in Dubai, a market that's buzzing with opportunities. Really exciting prospects.
Absolutely, there's so much happening in Dubai's mobile market. Phones, accessories, repairs. It's all interconnected, right?
Yeah, exactly. The demand it's like never ending. Everyone's got a phone, and there's always a need for new models, used ones, repairs, accessories.
True, and what really stands out is that consistent demand, coupled with the unique market dynamics in Dubai. It really makes you think, what are the real numbers here?
Right, so let's jump into the startup costs. We're talking about initial expenditures that range from 50,000 AED to 150,000 AED. And that includes shop rent, licenses, stock, and a little extra for setup.
Yep, interesting. So if I got that right, shop rent alone is between 20,000 to 40,000 AED, right?
Exactly. And you know, trade licenses come in around 10,000 to 15,000 AED, while the initial stock, the inventory of phones and accessories, is roughly 30,000 to 100,000 AED. Add on top of that, any setup costs starting from around 5,000
Right.
AED.
That's a decent investment up front. Now, what about the returns? How does the profit look?
Oh, the profit margins are really interesting. For new phones, the margin is typically around 50 to 150 AED per unit. But when you look at used phones, there's a bigger pot, something like 200 to 500 AED profit per unit.
Impressive. Wow, that's quite a jump from new to used. But I guess the accessory segment is also pretty lucrative, right?
Definitely. Accessories can grab you up to a 50% margin in some cases. It's like the whole ecosystem of mobile products really boosts profitability.
Yep. So there's clear money in the mobile shop sector here in Dubai. But I imagine it's not without its challenges?
For sure, the competitive landscape is pretty fierce. There are price wars, endless bargaining, and then there's the issue of fake phones, a serious risk when you're dealing with second-hand devices.
Right. And let's not forget those slow days where, despite the high demand, you might just not move enough stock. What do you think the best approach is in such a tight market?
Yeah, this is where the profit strategy really comes into play. The smart move seems to be focusing on used phones. They fetch a higher profit margin, as well as adding repair services. It's like you're not just selling a phone, you're building an integrated service experience.
Indeed. That sounds logical, though I must say, I wonder if that emphasis on used phones might sometimes risk quality perception among customers.
That's a really good point, and it's a delicate balance. While used phones offer great margins, building trust through repair services and a solid online presence can definitely help mitigate quality concerns.
Exactly. So, in a way, it's like building a brand around reliability, even if some of the products are pre-owned?
Precisely. It's all about trust. And by offering repair services and enhancing your online sales channels, you're not just relying on overhauling new devices, you're showing customers that you care about their long-term experience.
Yeah, I get that. Smart strategy indeed. Now I'm curious, what are some of the specific operational challenges these shops face day to day?
Well, competition is intense. You've got both established players and lots of smaller outlets battling it out. Not to mention the tricky issue of negotiating prices every time, and sometimes even dealing with counterfeit phones.
Truly a tough game. And that negotiation? They can really hammer down your margins if you're not careful, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you might put in all this effort to set a fair price, and then the customer just bargains hard as if every dirham counts.
Absolutely. So, considering these challenges, what would you say is the final verdict on entering this market?
Ultimately, the mobile shop business in Dubai is profitable, but it does require a very smart, well-thought-out strategy. You need to focus on the high-margin segments, like used phones and accessories, while diversifying with repair services and digital sales channels.
Right on. It does seem like there's a lot more than just buying and selling phones. It's about building a complete ecosystem around mobile technology.
Exactly. And Establishing that sense of reliability and trust is key. Customers have a wide range of choices, so you need to stand out with authenticity and value-added services.
Spot on. Some might argue that focusing too heavily on used phones could expose you to risks of subpar products. What do you think about that?
That's a valid concern. However, the strategy emphasizes a layered approach. By coupling used phone sales with repair services and thorough quality checks, you can actually ensure that your products remain reliable. It's almost like insurance for your inventory, you know?
Exactly, I see where you're coming from. And regarding the online aspect, how critical is that component in today's market?
Oh, it's essential. With online sales, you tap into a broader market, not just walk-ins. It also helps build a professional brand image, and customers increasingly expect digital convenience nowadays.
Yep, without a strong online presence, you're basically missing out, I can imagine. Plus, the online component might also help balance out those slow days in the physical store.
Absolutely. It adds an extra channel, spreading risk, and potentially reaching a different set of customers who prefer shopping online.
True. Now, looking at the numbers, do you think the 50,000 to 150,000 AED startup cost is justified by the profit margins?
Well, when you break it down, yes. If you're earning an extra 200 to 500 AED per used phone and a healthy margin on accessories, the cumulative effect can be substantial over time. It's like investing upfront to reap long-term gains.
Right. I guess it all boils down to execution. If you manage the operations well and focus on quality, you can really beat the competition.
Exactly. It's about executing a smart, integrated plan. The market is ripe, but you've got to be nimble, attentive, and customer-focused to truly succeed.
And what would be your key takeaway for someone considering opening a mobile shop in Dubai?
The key takeaway is to see it as more than just a retail outlet for mobile phones. It's about building a comprehensive service model, one that includes pre-owned devices, repair services, online sales, and a robust strategy to outshine competitors through reliability and trust.
That makes a lot of sense. Given all this, would you say that the market's profitability is clear, despite all the challenges?
Yes, it is profitable, but as we discussed, it requires a smart strategy. It's kinda like a calculated risk. You can't just jump in without preparing for the fierce price wars and potential pitfalls like fake phones.
Right, and that's where the planning really pays off. It sounds like anyone venturing into this market should invest significantly in quality control and customer trust measures.
Absolutely. The investment isn't just in physical stock, but in the overall customer experience. With a solid approach, the profit can be very attractive.
Agreed. Well, that was a great deep dive. If anyone's thinking of entering Dubai's mobile market, this discussion shows it's a promising, yet challenging venture that demands smart planning and execution.
Exactly. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more insightful guides.